Now, let me show you this. How many of you are familiar with this famous painting? Okay, what is it supposed to be? The hand of God coming down and the hand of man. Now, if you all remember in the Aleph study, here's the letter Aleph, correct? Now, I want you to notice up in the top right corner, what is that word? Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. That is the Lord. That's translated as the Lord. And many people in English translate it as Yahweh, but it's the Lord. But here's what I want to show you. That is God's name. When you look at the numerical value of that word, the Yud is the 10th letter, so it's number 10. The Hey is the 5th letter, so it is 5. And the Vav is 6. So if you add up the two Heys, the Yud and the Vav, you get 26. So within Judaism, the Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, whenever they see the number 26, that's what they think of. Just like in algebra, letters are numbers. And when they see these letters, or if they see 26, that's still the same numerical value. Now, here's the other thing. They say the Aleph, which represents God's name, Elohim, Adonai, all the letters, I went through all the words of God that begin with the letter Aleph a couple weeks ago. Do you remember that? So when they see the letter Aleph, they think of God. So what they've also done, if you look at this, the two little like hands that are coming down, one is representing the hand of God, the other one is representing the hand of man trying to reach. If you'll notice on the far left is the ancient letter Yud that Moses, when he wrote God's name, he wouldn't use modern Hebrew. The first letter means hand. And so that's what it looked like is the Yud, but I want you to know Yod means hand. So you have two Yuds, the two hands, and then you have that line coming down, which is represented by the Vav that you see on the far right in red. The Vav is the connector between heaven and earth. When the whole Vav, the number 6, it looked like a nail or a tent peg. And what is it doing? It's connecting the tabernacle to the earth. Now, when you read Genesis 1:1, the first time the letter Vav appears is the word and, where it says, and heaven and earth. And what does and do? It's a connector. What does a nail do? It binds two boards. So think of the Vav as a nail nailing two boards together. It's what connects things. It connects heaven and earth. All right, now here's what is amazing about this. If you take our Aleph and you see the two hands, one coming up and down, that's the numerical value of 10 plus 10 is 20. And then the Vav is 6, that's 26, showing you the Aleph also represents the Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh because it has the same numerical value of 26. Now, this isn't on my notes, but I just want to tell you, and I'm sure you guys can get it. As you know, in Genesis 2, where it talks about these are the generations of the heavens and the earth in the day that God created them. Is everyone familiar with that? The Hebrew word for generations there is toldot. And there are two Vavs in it. The very last one is between the Dalet and the Tav, two Vavs. That's how it's spelled correctly. Do you know for the next 80 times in the Torah, it is misspelled? Intentionally. See, a lot of people in English, they always try to correct God because they think someone made a mistake. God purposely left the letter Vav out from then on. It was that last letter Vav, the two Vavs, it was at the one at the end. So why does it all of a sudden disappear? Because the Vav is what? The connector, right? Well, in Genesis 5, the next time it's mentioned, it says, these are the generations of Adam. And that is where it's misspelled. The Vav is missing. Why? Because God created the world perfectly, and now when it came to Adam, he sinned and fell, and the Vav, the connecting between heaven and earth, is broken.
So now the vav is missing because the connection between heaven and earth is gone. It doesn't appear to be spelled correctly until the book of Ruth at the very end when David comes on the scene, who is the father of the Messiah. The connection came back. Well, the connection is the ladder. So what I want you to see, the letter Aleph is the two hands, and what connects heaven and earth is the Messiah, who is the ladder, who had the nail prints in his two hands connecting heaven and earth.